What does a maxed out streaming setup from Amazon actually look like? I searched all over Amazon for only the best streaming equipment and it was way cheaper than I expected. Starting off with the gaming monitor, in 2026, you can get a really good monitor like this one. It is the overall pick on Amazon and it is from AOC. It's not only a 27-inch monitor that's 240 hertz, but you can overclock it to 260 hertz. Plus it's an IPS panel, so the colors will look really good, and it's 1440p, so the pixel quality is amazing, and 1440p is actually double the amount of pixels of 1080p. So yeah, this is an amazing monitor, and for only $140, it's on a limited time deal. This is basically a no-brainer, and $140 for a monitor this good is an amazing steal. In 2026, you can get really good monitors for pretty cheap. But since this is a streaming setup, probably the most important part is the streaming microphone. So of course I am going with Amazon's choice, and it is called the Fifine AM8 Pro T, and it has amazing reviews, almost 5 stars. Of course, it's Amazon's choice, and we have a bunch of different colors to choose from, so I'm not 100% sure which one I like. However, one thing I did notice is the stand actually has RGB, so you're not only getting an RGB microphone, which is really good just judging by the reviews, but you're also getting a stand that's RGB to match with it, and it looks like the sound quality on this is going to be really good. It looks like a good microphone. It does not look cheap at all. What's really showing that this is a good microphone in my eyes is it actually is USB or XLR, so you can actually use an entire audio mixer and really have a professional streaming or recording setup. So this is absolutely amazing, and people just seem to love this. Plus it just looks like there are so many different features. Like, of course, you have like the microphone volume, you can adjust this like crazy, and yeah, it just looks like a really good microphone. Plus, me personally, I think with the RGB, it actually looks very aesthetic, and I've never seen a microphone arm that even has RGB, so this is about to be a really cool looking setup. Plus, you can literally use it for your console streaming setup, Windows streaming setup, or even if you're streaming on Mac. So this is absolutely amazing, and it just looks really good. So I mean, so to be honest, no wonder it is Amazon's choice. But let's just check some of the reviews. Okay, this guy's gaming setup looks sick, I have to be honest. And honestly, the boom arm with RGB fits perfectly in this gaming setup. Like, dude, this is actually a really good looking microphone. I am not sure what color I'm gonna go with, and they even have the all pink color. Exceeded expectations. Okay, everyone seems to love this, so I'm definitely gonna add this to the cart. I think I'm just gonna go with the white one for now. However, I might change my mind. So add this to the cart just like that. The whole point of this video is to build the ultimate streaming setup from Amazon. So of course, as soon as I saw that the microphone is actually compatible with an entire gaming mixer, I actually searched, and the Amazon choice one is also from Fifine, and it's called the SC8. It has some pretty good reviews, and it literally is the exact same kind of model that pairs up perfectly. It's from the same brand, so it kind of is a no-brainer, and it obviously is Amazon's choice. So you have all the other colors you can choose from as well. They even have pink, which is kind of insane, but I think I'm gonna go with this white one. I really like how this looks, and a lot of people actually did buy this. In terms of the features, of course, it has the XLR compatibility, so like you can actually plug it into an XLR microphone like the microphone we are buying. And it looks like there are a ton of features, and it literally works with like literally everything: desktop, tablet, and phone, which is insane. Laptop, PS4, PS5, and all that kind of stuff. Real quick, I want to check some of the reviews on this. Best budget mixer. See, this is what I was saying. You can build an ultimate streaming setup and it still is really good and on a budget. Incredible value for the price. I'm genuinely impressed. Audio quality is clean and clear. Yeah, I'm definitely buying this, bro. This is about to be an insane streaming setup. Now let's look for the gaming peripherals, and on Amazon there are literally thousands of different gaming keyboards that you can choose from at a bunch of different price points. The only thing I really care about is the like actual quality of it, and it being a mechanical keyboard. I would say that's like the most important thing. I see this one over here is actually the best seller, so I might be buying this one on Amazon. There are a ton of different keyboards that you can choose from. Overall, you really can't go wrong. Again, they're recommending this one to me. I think I'm just gonna go with this one. Do they have a white? Okay, they actually have so many different color schemes that we can go with. The white one actually looks sick. It has like a little bit of like a topo keycap design. I think this is looking really, really good. It is Amazon's choice as well. It is a wireless keyboard. I honestly was not specifically looking for a wireless keyboard, but that is just a little bit of a bonus. And I think this white kind of color scheme is looking pretty good. One thing I do notice is that it does have pre-looped switches, which is really, really good. That just means that the keyboard should be sounding very, very satisfied. And they literally say creamy sounding. So I'm expecting this keyboard not only to look and perform amazing, but to also sound really good. And I mean, people clearly love it. It's literally Amazon's choice. So for the streaming setup, I think this is going to be perfect. And I honestly cannot go wrong buying this. At least I hope so. And of course, to pair with the gaming keyboard, we need to get a gaming mouse. And it actually looks like Amazon is recommending us a very budget-friendly mouse. This does not mean it's bad at all. We have so many different colors we could get this. Even a teal. Okay, wait, this color would be kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really too much of a fan of that color, but I am gonna just go with the kind of normal white one. What's really good about this mouse is it is also wireless, so it literally just pairs up perfectly with our wireless gaming keyboard. We have a wireless keyboard, might as well get a wireless gaming mouse. And yeah, I don't think this is like the best kind of mouse you can get. It does have a 250-hour battery life, which is actually pretty impressive, but I just think it's gonna match the setup very, very well, and it literally works on PC, Mac, and everything like that. Plus, the amount of reviews on this are actually insane. Over 7,000 people bought this, and it's from Logitech. I do like to order things from like name brand companies or just that are rated pretty good and are of course Amazon's choice. Clearly people buy these, that's why it's actually rated Amazon's choice. And yeah, it just looks like a pretty simple gaming mouse, and really the only thing I would personally be looking for is making sure you have a mouse with side buttons, which this one does have, so I'm definitely going to be ordering this one. For the gaming headset, I decided since we already have audio equipment from Fifine or Fifine, however you pronounce it, we might as well also go and actually test out their gaming headset, because I actually bought the audio mixer, so I want to just see how everything works and how the entire streaming ecosystem basically connects, because it should just connect all very, very easily. And I mean, this gaming headset does look very, very good. Like, just judging by the actual like kind of quality of it, it looks like it's going to be very comfortable. It doesn't have any reviews, so I think it's actually brand new. I am going to see if they have a white version of this, because I want to just match the entire gaming setup. But it literally works for PC, PS5, PS4, laptop, Mac, Xbox, mobile, literally everything it works with. So it's actually compatible with literally everything, which is amazing, because I know a lot of you guys are not only streaming on a PC, but a lot of you guys also stream on Xbox and stuff. Especially with GTA 6 coming out, a lot of people will probably be streaming on console. But yeah, it does have 7.1 surround sound, so it is actually really, really good. And one thing I really want to test out is the open acoustic audio. That's why I'm pretty sure they have holes over here. I'm very curious to see how that actually sounds. And I think this is just going to be the perfect thing. It literally all matches with our streaming setup. It's all from the kind of same brand in terms of like the audio. So I think it's just going to perfectly match everything. I know Amazon isn't known for having the best gaming mouse pads. I just kind of want to go with a normal one. Honestly, this one is the overall pick. I am going to go with a black one because I do want it to kind of contrast the white peripherals that we have, because I think if we had a white mouse pad and white peripherals, it would match a little bit too much. They have a ton of different styles that we can go with, actually. I think I'm just going to go with the classic XXL size. I want to see exactly what this is. It is 35 inches by 16, so that is honestly the perfect size. I don't really need anything bigger. And over 100,000 people bought this. That's actually insane, and it has almost 5-star reviews. So this is definitely a pretty safe buy, and I think it's just like a normal cloth one. Peak tracking and stability, it should be good enough for our Logitech budget mouse. So let's add this to the cart, and it is $30, so it actually is the same price as our mouse, which is a little bit insane, but that's fine. And finally, for the gaming PC, I just want to see what the overall pick is. It is $1,500. Honestly, since all the rest of the setup is around $500, I could go with this, but I want to see what other kind of PCs we can get below $1,000, because I still am trying to build the ultimate streaming setup on Amazon, don't get me wrong, but I don't think you need to necessarily buy a gaming PC that's $1,500. You can still buy a really good gaming PC for a lot less, and already this one from Skytech literally has almost the exact same specs, I think, for a lot cheaper. So I'm just gonna kind of search around. I'm gonna try and find a gaming PC under $1,000 that I think is really, really good. So what I'm gonna do is put $1,000 as the cap and put the customer reviews as 4 stars and up. So this is basically what Amazon recommends, and let's actually feature it by best sellers. Okay, so now we're seeing all of the best gaming PCs under $1,000. This one looks pretty good, but I actually really am digging the way this one looks. These all are actually pretty good. Okay, honestly, Amazon is recommending this. They say this is the overall pick, and it literally is 5 stars from 18 different people. It is from Novatech. I don't think it is like the craziest best looking gaming PC of all time, but judging by the specs and the performance, they say over 144 FPS in Fortnite, over 300 in League of Legends, 140 in Apex, 350 in Minecraft. So it looks like it's going to get some pretty high FPS, and this is in 1440p high settings, so which is literally perfect since our monitor is 1440p. I think this is actually a really good buy. It looks like we have a Ryzen 5. The only bad thing I noticed is they didn't say what Ryzen 5 it is. However, it does have an RTX 5060 and 16 gigabytes of RAM. And let me just check why people are rating this good. I actually think it looks really, really good aesthetically with the RGB. We have an RGB air cooler. RTX 5060 makes gaming so smooth. What did he say? He tested it out on 1440p. So yeah, I think this is actually a perfect gaming PC. Smooth 1440p performance. That's what everyone is saying. Oh, okay. So the Ryzen 5 5500 actually seems to be the CPU. I don't think that's really that good of a CPU. I think they could have put a better CPU inside of here, but honestly, I think that's fine. I'm just gonna buy this. Literally everyone is saying they're gaming on 1440p, which is perfect since the monitor we're buying is literally 1440p and 240 hertz. So yeah, this honestly seems like the best pick, and most importantly, it is Amazon's overall pick, which means it's Amazon's choice, rated 4+ stars, purchase often, and not really returned. So yeah, this is definitely a really good buy. So our entire streaming setup from Amazon, which is actually pretty ultimate and like very maxed out, is actually less than $1,500 for everything, which I think for an entire streaming setup is actually very, very good. So let's order it, and I am just so excited to see how everything really looks. And this is everything for the Amazon streaming setup. And since this is a streaming setup, I'm just gonna be starting out with all of the streaming audio equipment. Sound quality is extremely important when you're streaming and just creating content when you're recording or anything like that. So it's very, very important all of this actually not only works good, but also sounds good. So of course we did get this microphone called the AM8 Pro T from Fifine, and as you guys can see already right out the box, we not only have the microphone, but we also have the entire microphone stand, all the cables we need, and literally everything. Here is the microphone itself, and let's just quickly actually add it onto this RGB mic stand, which I've literally never seen an RGB mic stand. I absolutely love the all-white color scheme of both of them. They match really well, but let's just actually attach the microphone, which you do very easily just by twisting it on. And now that the microphone is on, all we need to do is actually take the clamp that of course is included, and we just attach this. And let me actually plug it in because I really want to see the RGB on this. Okay, so the RGB on it actually looks way brighter than I expected, and it actually looks pretty good. Like, I literally have never seen this before, and of course I am able to customize it once I actually have it plugged into a PC and I actually have like the Fifine software. And I genuinely love that they just have an entire mic arm that's already included, because obviously I can swivel it around like 360 degrees. I have all the movement I could ever want, and it literally is all outside the box. I don't need to buy a separate stand. This is actually really nice, and of course I am a little bit biased for white because I just love all white setups. I mean, literally look at my gaming PC in the back. So on the bottom of the microphone, you do have 2 different ways to plug it into your PC. You can go directly with the included USB-C into your PC, so it's extremely easy to connect, or you can actually upgrade by using the XLR cable and plug it into an audio mixer if you want more kind of control over your audio. And over on the front of the microphone, you actually have a 3-in-1 knob that if you push down, it will actually mute your mic, and you can actually use the 3-in-1 dial to actually switch between your headset, mic, or kind of like a mix of the audio, which basically in short allows you to adjust the balance between your gameplay audio and your mic. So already with just the microphone, you do have a lot of control, but like I mentioned, you are able to use the XLR cable and connect it into an audio mixer like the Fifine SC8, which literally will work perfectly, and this will give you just more control over your audio. And of course, like you guys saw, I did have to get this in white because it just matches really good and it will just make the setup look really, really good. But in terms of the actual audio mixer, you can see just how many buttons they are. And trust me, it is very, very beginner friendly, even for someone like me who's not really an audio nerd. So let's just talk quickly about what you actually get on this audio mixer. So on this audio mixer, you get a dedicated game and chat dial. And as I actually adjust them, you can see the RGB is showing me kind of like where I am adjusting it. And then you also get a dedicated output where you can kind of change it around to get like less or more. You also get a dedicated dial for your microphone. And as you guys can see, every time I'm actually adjusting them, it does have lights showing me having more or less. And then you also have a dedicated dial for your aux, which is like your headset audio. So yeah, that is actually really, really sick. You also do have a dedicated button over here for your voice changer, but my favorite part is the dedicated buttons, which are presets for the 7.1 and EQ, so you don't have to actually go inside of the Fifine software to adjust them. So with the audio mixer, you're just getting way more control than just having a dedicated microphone, even though this is already really, really good. If you just wanted a little bit more control and to take your kind of content streaming to the next level, this is definitely something I would recommend. Plus, they literally have a little dial over here on the back to switch between your PC and PS4. So this is compatible with PC, Mac, PS4, and even mobile devices. So that's actually really, really sick. And when you do plug in your microphone with the XLR cable into the mixer, you do get 50 decibels gain and also 48 volts of phantom power for your condenser microphone. Plus, there even is a 24-bit DEC, which just in short gives you a more dynamic range between your gaming, streaming, podcasting, or just voiceovers, anything like that. There are also more ports over here in the back, like a headset port, so you can actually plug in your headset directly into the audio mixer and you will be able to hear your pro audio inside of your headphones. And speaking of headphones, of course, we do have the Fifine H18V. And the part I'm most excited about is they actually are open back gaming headphones, which do make your headphones way more comfortable and just give you a better audio experience. So it looks like inside of the box, it actually is a pretty basic unboxing. We do just get the manual, and then what I care about the most are the headphones, which honestly, they're actually pretty light. This is something I could actually wear for hours. Like it actually feels really comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. It even comes with a small detachable microphone. I am just gonna plug this into the headset, but of course, just for the best sound quality possible, I am gonna be using the dedicated like mic setup we have over here. But if you just wanted to go more budget friendly, you could just use this. So if I actually put these on, oh my, okay, wait, I'm genuinely being serious. Like, I promise I'm actually not lying. These are genuinely extremely comfortable on my head. I do have a smaller head, but if you do have a bigger one, you do have like a little bit of adjustability. But I am genuinely being serious. That actually feels very comfortable, and I can actually hear myself very, very well. Like, that's basically thanks to the open back design. That's why it looks like there's vents here. So when I actually supposedly am gaming, it just has a more natural sound. And on the headset itself, you actually do have a lot of control with this little volume box over here. You can adjust the actual headset sound quality, your mic, actual audio too. You can mute your mic, and that entire thing is USB powered, so I can just connect it directly into my PC, or I can actually unplug it just like this and use the 3.5mm headphone jack, and we can plug that directly into our actual audio mixer, which is definitely what I'm gonna be doing. Plus, it does have 53mm dynamic drivers inside of these headphones, so when I actually plug it in and use it for gaming or anything, it should sound really, really good. But of course, I will have to test that out when I actually have it plugged into the PC. And on the listing, it does say that it doesn't only work on PC, but PS4, PS5, and you also can use the 3.5mm jack to connect it directly into your Xbox controller controllers, PlayStation controllers, mobile devices, or of course, like I'm gonna be doing, into our audio mixer. So this entire audio system that we do have for our streaming setup is gonna be very, very easy to connect since it's all from Fifine, and it will work amazing and sound really good when I actually plug it in and test it. So I'll show you guys that later. But of course, before we connect all of this and really test it out, we still need to unbox the rest of our Amazon streaming setup. And the next thing I'm gonna be unboxing is the gaming monitor, and this is our 260 hertz monitor. And inside of the box, we get some manuals. It looks like an HDMI and also DisplayPort cable, the power cable, and then the actual monitor base plate along with the monitor arm. And finally, under here, we actually have the 27-inch gaming monitor itself. And taking the monitor out of the wrapping, I'm actually gonna lay it flat on this just so we can actually attach the monitor stand without putting like fingerprints on the screen. And it looks like this monitor stand is actually extremely basic, so unfortunately we probably won't be getting that much adjustability. It looks like we literally just slide that on. I heard the click, so that's already good. And then we just take our monitor base plate. There literally isn't even a screw on this, so I think we just, yup, that's literally it. And now our monitor stand is fully put together, and it actually doesn't look that bad. The bezels around are actually not that thick at all, so it makes it look like kind of modern and like not old. In terms of adjustability, you do have tilt, but that is it. You don't have any height adjustment or like side to side movement apart from like literally moving the physical monitor itself. But let's actually talk about the specs because that's kind of the part I care about the most. Which I honestly am a little confused about because on the monitor box, it said it was 260 hertz. However, when I actually ordered it, it did say it was a 240 hertz monitor. So I will have to double check that. We might have just got an extra 20 hertz, so I'm not really complaining, but the rest of the specs were genuinely really good on this monitor. So for the price I paid, I honestly would say this was a pretty good deal because it's 27 inches, so it's a little bit bigger than 24 inches. And as a streaming setup, I would actually prefer having a 27-inch monitor over a very competitive 24-inch one. But yeah, in terms of the rest of the actual picture quality, it is a QHD display, so it isn't IPS, but it still will be pretty good resolution. And for the price I paid, I think it's pretty fair. But my favorite, and honestly the part I care about the most, is it is 1440p. So 1440p is actually double the amount of pixels as 1080p, because I know a lot of people actually don't think it's double, but it literally is double the resolution. So the quality on this monitor will be really, really good. And you still are getting that amazing quality with, of course, either 240 or 260 hertz, whatever we actually get, and a 0.03 millisecond response time. So it is extremely responsive, has really good picture quality, and yeah, honestly can't complain for the price. And if you wanted more adjustability with the monitor, you always could put it on a monitor stand if you wanted to. And now moving on to the peripherals, I actually am very excited about this because a lot of people did seem to like this keyboard along with like all the other products we honestly got in this setup, but I'm actually very curious like how this is. And the reason I actually specifically got this keyboard over a normal 60% one is since this is a streaming setup, we probably want the function keys just as a little bit extra control to actually use. And it also just helps if you want to like set them for like OBS or anything like that. And lifting this out of the box, it actually has a little bit of weight to it, which makes it feel a little bit like kind of good quality, honestly. Let's do a quick typing test. Yo, that actually sounds really good. Oh my, I'm actually very, very surprised with this. That actually is really good. That is way better than I expected, to be honest. And you do have a few different ways to actually connect it. You have a USB dongle, so you can actually connect it with a 2.4 gigahertz. You can also connect it wirelessly by using Bluetooth, but I would not recommend that. If you use Bluetooth, you're gonna have so much input delay. Or if you just want to be safe and like get the least amount of input delay, probably you can just use wired. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. And let's just see what cable it comes with. Okay, so it is a pretty basic white, actually almost more of like a gray cable. At least it isn't a black one, so it does kind of match the keyboard. Let's plug it in. I'm just really curious to see how the RGB looks on it. So the RGB on it is genuinely brighter than I expected. Oh, okay. just turned back on. Keep in mind, I am in a very, very bright room. There is like literally 2 giant key lights right in front of my face. So if you were in the dark, it would actually be even better and like look brighter. But yeah, literally all the keys light up very, very equally. I love the actual like topo kind of look of it. It reminds me to my topo mouse pads at Elevate Culture, little shameless plug. But yeah, I actually really like it. You get a dedicated little volume dial here, but of course we are just going to be using our kind of audio mixer setup because we definitely got the audio setup kind of like on dial. But of course, if you do want to use a 60% keyboard, you can. But yeah, I think this one just genuinely also sounds really, really good. It did also say it has a gasket structure, so I think it is a pretty good quality keyboard. And there genuinely is just like no flexing going on with this keyboard. So honestly, really nice keyboard. And to pair with that wireless keyboard, we of course also have a wireless mouse. It is the Logitech G305. And this is a very, very budget-friendly option, as you guys saw when I ordered it from Logitech. So I actually am just very curious how good it is to game, because I mean, it is from a name brand Logitech, but yeah, let's see how good it is to game like when I actually test it out. Oh, okay, I just saw something I really don't like about the mouse, and I'll explain why later. But yeah, the mouse right now actually feels pretty light, and that is because you literally need to have a battery in here. So it is a wireless mouse, like you literally have the dongle if I can pull it out, but you do need to have a AA battery in, so it literally doesn't have like a charging cable that you plug in. This will basically mean the mouse is, yeah, it feels way heavier now. That makes the mouse feel extremely heavy, and you also are not able to just charge it. You're also gonna be constantly running through batteries. So to be honest, even though this mouse is pretty small, I'm not the biggest fan of that at all. So that probably is why it was so cheap. But yeah, that just makes the mouse feel way heavier. It's not the worst thing in the world. I just rather have a mouse I can actually charge. At least we do have side buttons, and I think it also does have a little bit of RGB on it. Actually, nope, it doesn't have any RGB. So this is definitely a very budget mouse. Inside of here, we actually do have a cable. Oh, okay, wait, never mind. This is just a dongle. So yeah, there is no charging on it. You are just gonna be constantly running through batteries. So with the battery, this mouse is literally 99 grams, so 100 grams basically. So it is honestly a pretty bulky mouse, and I would not recommend this mouse if you're playing like FPS shooter games. Some people actually might like heavier mice, but me personally, I like 50 grams. So this is very heavy for me. Hopefully, at least with our Steel Series extra large gaming mouse pad, it will glide easily, so it will like maybe feel a little bit lighter. But yeah, let's unbox this and just see how good this mouse pad is. This is just a very basic black cloth mouse pad. It doesn't really have any design on it apart from the little Steel Series logo. Honestly, I'm genuinely being serious. I like my own mouse pads more, or other mouse pads you can buy on the internet. So you do actually get a rubber base grip on the bottom, so that is good that the mouse pad is not like sliding around the desk. As you guys can see, you have like a rubber base over here, but the stitching on the side isn't really like anything too crazy. It is kind of like feeling very budget and like kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie. Like it doesn't look like it would stand a bunch of like wear and tear. But in terms of mousepad glide, it's not bad. Like I have to be completely serious. It's not bad at all. It glides very, very easily. There are better options you can get for this price. However, I know I might be a little bit biased, but I genuinely think my mouse pads not only perform better, but also look way, way nicer. They are the same size, but yeah, I mean, I'm literally just trying to show you guys. The glide is just as good, if not even better, and I just love this new design. Make sure you check out my mouse pads at Elevate Culture, plus pay attention to the stitching. This is gonna definitely like stand wear and tear a lot better, and of course, it also has a rubber grip, so like if I really shake it, it's not moving around the desk. Little bit of a shameless plug, make sure you check out Elevate Culture down below. And this is also a fact, it is a lot heavier than the actual Steel Series mouse pad. It just feels better quality. But now it's time for the part you guys have all been waiting for, which is the gaming PC. Or basically streaming PC, since this is a streaming setup. I don't think I've ever bought a gaming PC from this brand, so I genuinely have no idea what to expect. This is a good sign. We have a little like kind of certification of like when it was tested in April, and the technician, my boy's name was AB. So AB, the technician, hopefully you did a good test running our PC. we should not have any issues. So inside the box, we have our Wi-Fi dongles here, the power cable, and let's flip this over so we can actually get this PC out. Okay, so packaging wise, it is actually good. Keep in mind the other white piece, like little foam, is inside the box, don't worry. Okay, so packaging wise, I will say it does look pretty good. None of the tempered glass is broken, and we also do get a tempered glass front panel, which is very, very nice. Even inside of the PC, we do have some extra protection in here. I always love seeing when they do this because this just makes sure that the graphics card doesn't get damaged during shipping, because it definitely does move around a lot if you don't do this. So this is actually really good for packaging. And if we remove the tempered glass side panel, we now have access to the gaming PC. So time to finally see how it looks. And I only see actually two things that I don't really like for the price that I paid. So let me actually explain what they are. So the first thing is actually only one stick of RAM. It does have 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is good. But if you have 16 gigs of RAM, what you want to see is two sticks, because you want two 8 gig sticks so you actually can take advantage of dual channel, especially if you are streaming, because you are going to be multitasking. So I am actually very, very curious to see how it performs when I'm like streaming and recording while gaming, because this PC is very, very important for the streaming setup, of course. And I'm not too worried about the air cooler at all. Like, it actually should do a really good job. Like, this looks like perfectly fine for the specs. But then for the graphics card, you guys saw it is the RTX 5060. However, it is the single fan version, and for the price I paid, being a little over $1,000 after shipping and taxes, we should have just gotten, honestly, the double like fan version instead of the single one. So they definitely did cheap out a little bit on this gaming PC. However, let's plug it in and let's just not be too negative. Let's just plug it in and see how it looks with all the RGB and make sure everything works. Okay, so it should power on first try. There we go. And seriously, pretty good looking gaming PC. You can see we have three 120mm fans on the front, and I have to be honest, they look really, really good. I also did not match this to the color scheme of the room. It actually just happened to be on light blue. So I actually really like that. I did not see a little remote to change the actual colors. Is this a restart button? Okay, maybe there's a software loaded in that we can actually change the colors. But yeah, we also do have our RGB air cooler, as you guys can see, which honestly looks really good, and an extra 120mm fan over in the back. So I think in terms of cooling with the specs we have inside of this PC is actually pretty good. I would have loved to see a little bit more, like 2 extra fans over on the top, because honestly, I can tell they did try and cheap out a little bit with this PC. However, let's just talk about the rest of the specs. I'm just gonna be honest, I know this gaming PC is Amazon's choice, but I just really wanna explain why I would not actually recommend it personally. So at $1,000, like we already discussed, you get 1 stick of RAM instead of getting 2 like you should. You also are getting the single fan version of the RTX 5060. It's not the end of the world, but I would also say the CPU they even cheaped out on. It's not so much the air cooler, but you do get a Ryzen 5, but it's not even a Ryzen 5 5600. It is a Ryzen 5 5500, which is basically a CPU that you should be getting in like a $500 or $600 gaming PC, not one that costs $1,000. And I mean, for storage, you do have a 1TB SSD. That's not the end of the world at all, but I just think they cheaped out on too many things. For $1,000, I would definitely say you could, 1, build a much better gaming PC, or just 2, buy a better pre-built. However, I shouldn't judge this streaming PC too harshly yet before I actually test it out. So let's set up our entire Amazon streaming setup and see how good it all performs, not just the gaming PC. Finally, I put together the entire streaming setup, and this is how it looked. Of Of course, it doesn't only matter how the Amazon streaming setup looks, but also how it performs. So first, I decided to test it all out in OBS. The entire Amazon streaming setup is now complete and all working. What you guys are hearing me on right now is the Fifine mic with the audio mixer. And I mean, from what you guys can hear, I listened to it back already. It sounds really, really good. And of course, I can completely control this microphone with the audio mixer. So now it's time to have a little bit of fun with this audio setup and show you what I can actually do with the Fifine microphone and also the audio mixer. You have this little voice changer here. I can actually change it around. So right now, I can go onto Elder just like that.
This is always on a monster. This is how This is
Mega. Oh, baby. Yo, make sure you boys like and sub. And this is Yalcine.
Mail and back on auto-tune. So yeah, you have a little bit of like voice changer things you could do as like a funny effect if you're streaming or anything like that. And you also have presets over here to actually change your EQ as well, which changes the way that your mic sounds. But yeah, I mean, you have so much control just directly on this audio mixer. You can really even play with it more and like really adjust your presets and fully customize it. I'm just trying to give you guys like a quick idea of how everything works, but having an audio mixer and a microphone like this and just a whole audio setup is what really takes your setup from a gaming setup to a streaming setup, and what really turns your like not only streaming content, but also if you were using this to like record YouTube videos like I am right now, it takes your content to the next level. And that's what like really is the whole point of getting all this Fifine equipment, is it just really takes your setup to the next level. Since this is a streaming / recording setup, it's only fair I try gaming while also recording, so that's exactly what I did. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, this is not the best sign because I'm literally screen recording and I am in performance mode inside of Fortnite, and yeah, we're getting like 60 FPS and we just spent $1,000 on this PC. Okay, the FPS did pick up a little bit. Now it's around like 150-ish, but around 100 FPS on a PC that I just had to spend $1,000 on is not ideal at all. I also did update the drivers and everything like that. So, oh, I did not even press the Windows key. I don't know why it just went black, but yeah, you can see that the CPU, the Ryzen 5 5500 that I was mentioning to you guys, that was bad, is at 100% usage. Like, oh, bro, what? Yo, there's no way it's like busted. Like, this PC's actually busted. Literally, what is this doing? I'm gonna have to go into windowed mode. It's literally fully bugging. It's literally fully bugging, dude. This PC sucks. Okay, so, yeah, on windowed mode, I wouldn't really recommend that, but this PC was so bad that I kind of don't have an option. I mean, the FPS is literally at like 60-ish, and that's just mainly due to the fact that our actual CPU, the Ryzen 5 5500, is like fully maxed out. Like, how is it this bad? Genuinely, how is it even able to be this bad? Okay, so yeah, I'm just kind of playing this game out, and it looks like the FPS is just trying to be at like 60-ish. I'm not accepting this for the streaming PC I just spent $1,000 on, so let's actually leave this game. I'm gonna go into DX12, which uses more of the GPU, so hopefully more of the RTX 5060, which is pretty good inside of this PC. Hopefully more of that actually ends up being used and less of the CPU. Maybe it will balance it out and give us better FPS, but dude, this PC's performance, like I was kind of predicting for $1,000, is kind of disappointing. Keep in mind, we are streaming, like I'm literally recording on OBS, so that does take a good amount of our CPU resources, but that kind of just goes to show that, like I was saying, the Ryzen 5 5500 that actually comes with this PC for $1,000 is just not good. So this time we are on DX12, as you guys can see, and low settings, but it looks like it didn't really do anything. We're just using more of the GPU resources, but still we're getting like 40. How are we getting 40 FPS? And I just spent $1,000 on this PC. Bro, everything else in the setup, like the keyboard, I would say feels pretty good. The mouse, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I could definitely get used to it. It feels a little bit heavy. That's not the end of the world. What is the end of the world is our 40 to 60 FPS on a $1,000 gaming PC. What I want to show you guys now is just to prove to you guys, I actually didn't test this out yet, but now, I mean, this kind of defeats the purpose of the streaming and recording setup, but let's actually turn off OBS. Let's go back on full screen. I'm gonna go 1080p full screen. Okay, Maybe it will be like 120 to 150 now. So full screen, no, still at around 90 to 100. I mean, you guys can see we're at like high 80s to like 90% for the CPU. So it does help that we're not, okay, wait, I actually can feel it way smoother now compared to when I was actually like streaming and like recording. Okay, I'm just gonna go on windowed full screen because I don't know why it keeps tabbing me out. I'm not pressing the tab button, yet the PC keeps tabbing me out. Now that we're a little bit later in the game, the FPS got a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, CPU is still pretty high at like 80, 70%. And I mean, our GPU, like, we're not really using that much of the GPU. If I wanted to use more, I could play like Call of Duty, but yeah, even on high Fortnite settings, it's literally completely chilling. Like, we're only using 40%. So the GPU inside of this PC is actually really good. It's just, like I said, the Ryzen 5 5500. I have no idea why they cheaped out on that so hard. I would not recommend this $1,000 PC. I would recommend the rest of the stuff in this setup. Like, I actually really like the keyboard and, of course, all the streaming equipment. All right, 3 other players only. Ooh, what the heck? Yo, there's so much loot here. Okay, I need this guy to just, oh my gosh, yo, chill out, bro. Oh my. What? No, I had that. That guy was such a tryhard. Honestly, I'll take a second place on this trash $1,000 PC. Honestly, I'll take it, bro. If you want to build your own streaming setup or buy some of the best audio equipment, make sure you check out Fifine with the first link in the description and pinned comment. And thank you so much to Fifine for sponsoring this video. I'll link everything in this gaming setup down below, and if you enjoyed this gaming setup video, make sure you drop a sub with noties because I always post videos like this, and 80% of you guys that watch my videos are not subbed. More importantly, remember Jesus loves you, and that's about it. God bless.